No, it's just, I don't know, it's just times of, he's just confused. Like, he's just confused. He thought he was on the right path, he was doing his thing. And just got hit with this. I mean, I feel confused at this times when I feel like, I was on the right path, and I kind of just hit the wall. And I think it does take that self-reflection, like he's doing. I don't want to say I curse myself, but you do get down on yourself. And, I don't know, it just.
In your time of anger, do you lash at other people, or you always just kind of lash at yourself?
I try not to. I'm pretty good at not let my emotions affect how I deal with people, because I know that that's not a good way to go about things. But it's tough when you keep it inside too. So I release it sometimes to people, but like through my expressions, through talking to them. So,
really? Yeah. Like when you're angry, does people know you're angry, or are you just like?
I'm reserved.
You're reserved.
Yeah, you gotta like to myself.
Internal combustion.
No.
Okay. Muddy D. Like when you're in this whole woe state.
I think I close up.
Close
so
up.
you don't necessarily want to know that I'm going through something. But now since I have a relationship with Jesus Christ, that's what I pray the most too.
When you're angry, when you kind of feel this
Yeah,
whole.
when you feel like Joe, I see it as like he's in a tunnel and he doesn't see no light anymore. He used to see that light at the end of the tunnel, but now it's darkness and he wishes he would never have this light. Yeah, I felt like that before and slid, just close up. Like you said, most people, it's probably not good to lash out on people and stuff like that. So, like his friends they just sat in there quiet. Sometimes it's good to just keep your mouth shut. So for me, I just close up.
Internal. That's your ear.
I thought I knew how to hide it until you called me out every time. I was like,
See that?
maybe that's what's weird in some like, but I think.
You kind of wear your emotions on your sleeve, though.
I guess I do. I didn't used to be like that.
Oh, it used to be different?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because I used to think I was going through it.
Right.
Until I got to really go through it. So then it was like, I don't know. Yeah, I need mad. More than mad though, I'd be sad. Like, I'd be like that.
Like,
I'd
yeah.
be like, ever mad. Yeah. That be picking me up. Like this morning, I had an email. He sent me an email. And it like addressed everything I was doing. I had to send her back a reply. Usually on the reply, I was like, thank you. And then she was wondering like, why she say thank you today? She ignored me every time. But I had to say thank you. I was like, PG, you know. Yeah. But I like to smile.
Is it like that therapeutic?
No, it's just like I don't like to do my business.
It's a cover up.
I like to smile because like, when somebody always asks you like, what's wrong? Like, every time you ask me what's wrong. And you know,
when I was younger, when I played basketball, I was hard on myself. I was like the type where it's like when you're good, but you could be better. And like I hated when I hate to lose. I hated to lose. I mean, now I'm at competition not as bad, but I hated to lose because, and even in video games, like playing them, I couldn't play those one-on-one combat games because like when I lose, like I keep playing until I win. And then when I couldn't beat it, I would get mad at myself. And then
Smash the remote or something.
I wouldn't do that though. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. But afterwards, I would go up and keep playing until I'm good enough to beat them again. But I would keep losing. But basically, the point of that is that even every time I'm losing, I get like, man, what's wrong with me? God, doing those little internal combustion. I don't blame them. You can't blame them. They good. They know how to play. But yeah, it happens.
She doesn't know it happens.
Do you think it's more with guys than with girls?
It's definitely with guys. Like we might not be friends for a little bit.
No, real talk. Yeah.
A little bit. We just looking like.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Like we cool. Like even playing a game. Like if y'all get real harsh, like you probably wouldn't want to play them again right after that.
Not right after.
Oh my gosh! You play a game, then y'all lose, and then you play a rematch. Trust. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Especially you got a busted lip or something. Yeah.
Okay. Like that.
Homegirls, they talking or whatnot, and they should have said something just slipped. And you be like, you know what, we friends, girl, but you shouldn't have said that. What I say? What you said?
Yeah, like I
You know what
hate
you
that.
said.
Like girls do that. Like they'll put your business out there and they be like, hey.
Wouldn't even think about the consequences. They didn't think about the consequences. But they just wanted to get it out, right?
What you just said?
You
You didn't. Don't even just put my business out there like that. Oh no. So I don't have girlfriends. I got like 3.
3? Really?
My friends are guys because they don't talk. Actually, I got this one guy friend.
But as a matter of fact, that's almost a negative though, because you also get attached to our emotions, and like all 3 of us, we internally combust, which means as you connect with other guys and you see how they express. I know because Jamaica, when she was young, yeah, she got most guy friends too, and she's like, when she expresses her emotions, she does it like a guy. Not a girl. She doesn't, and when she does express like a girl, she doesn't know how to control.
Walk away.
Perfect. Exactly. With us, we know how to cover up.
Because I'm violent. I have to walk away. Like,
It's like, no, for you, I'm walking away for you,
I
right?
had a man almost try to strangle me because I couldn't walk away, so I have to walk away. Like, not good, not good.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I killed him.
Yeah.
He scared me.
I was about to say.
He's saying, like, yeah. So I have to walk away before I like him. The Lord is still working.
Let 'em on the way. I think one thing, if one great lesson we can get out of this is chapter 1, God identifies Job to be upright, blameless, nearly perfect. But yet chapter 3, he's writing a poem about cursing his birth. You know what I mean? That takes a lot. Consider this. Where God knows exactly what's on the heart of Job, on the mind of Job, Job's spirit, what type of man Job is. But all of us, we get the tangible expression of how Job felt about himself. Even though God is saying, I'm all this, I don't feel like that right now. As a matter of fact, I wish I was dead. That's a trip. Because we in church and we surrounded by a lot of people who seemingly have it all together. And even God would say that's an anointed man. Y'all know some anointed men of God who preaching, teaching, worshiping. Oh, I love their worship. I love their singing, their dancing. I love their zeal. But then to be able to see chapter 3 and Job in this, it's like watching a show behind scenes. We can look at a show and see how beautiful, how tight together. This is one of my favorite movies. But you don't know how much time, how much agony, how much blood, sweat, and tears they had to put through to make this show presentable to you. And notice God is saying in front and in behind, he's still upright and blameless. Let this be a word of encouragement for each and every one of us, where God is basically saying, I understand at times you wish that, you kind of feel like Job. This chapter 3 is actually like duplicated in many other chapters in this book. We're going to get to some of them. We can't go to all of them because there are 42 chapters, about 40 plus chapters in Job. And I would say about 10 plus chapters is Job basically cursing himself. He talks about first his birth. He talks about then his friends jump in it too. His friends is cussing him out like, dude, yeah, maybe you did do something wrong. Maybe you did. I might as well agree with you because you ain't going to believe us anyways. Maybe you did sin. And then Job is saying, y'all supposed to be with me. Let me forget y'all, whatever. What's wrong with me, God? Why can't you just leave me alone? About 10 plus chapters, Job is feeling this. But yet, Greg, in the beginning of the chapter, God said he's blameless, he's upright, he's perfect. And Satan, I dare you to touch his hand. I dare you to touch his mind. I dare you to touch his body. Consider this with every single one of us, whether it's just us 4 here. God thinks the same way as he did with Job, he does with us. How do I know? Because we're still alive. How do I know? Because we're still pressing. How do I know? Because we're still fighting. May not be perfect, but can we honestly say Job was too? The way he's talking in here, Job saying, and God say he's perfect. This man don't sound perfect. He wish he was dead. Psychologically, he's almost saying, I wish I committed suicide. Psychologically. Of course, not physically, but psychologically. He's saying, if I could go back in time in my mother's womb, I would have probably choked myself out with the umbilical cord. That's basically what Job sounds like he's saying right now. Right talk. Real talk. But God is saying, that's my man. That's my son. That's my daughter right there. Yeah, in spite of them, somebody else reading a story, in spite of them, that's my man right there. That's my boy right there.